Hut Hut. I am showing off the Cluster ID API, and this is basically a API whose goal is only to store one piece of information and to store it in a way that it's created automatically, and in the end, hopefully, cannot be sort of deleted and modified. Um, we can achieve some of these goals with RBAC, but it would be nice to have support in the API machinery to do this. To achieve this in this particular manner, I've created a new type on the existing service catalog server in lieu of the options of creating a new API group or creating a completely separate API server with its own API group. And I did that because it was easier and expedient, and I could do basically a lot of copying and pasting versus having to figure out other stuff. Part of that was also writing a little tiny controller which will generate a new UUID if it doesn't exist, and then post that to the server. Okay, so what we have is we have the existing API server and controller. We have a Helm chart, so I'm going to install the standard chart for the catalog, and I'm going to use my customized image. And so I've built this in the past and posted it, and everything should be pulled and ready to go already. So we'll wait here, and we see that it takes a minute to start up. If we look at API versions, we can see that the service catalog is already installed. Let's see. Okay, so this has already started up successfully, and we can see that I didn't do anything, but we started this, and it is service catalog, and it is a cluster ID type, and it has an ID. What else have I done as part of some of the implementation? If we look at this, we can see that, okay, this ID is different from the existing one. It's obviously it's a test one, but we can see that if I do an apply, it doesn't work. We've got validation that prevents you from changing it once it is created. Another thing that we can do is we can edit this. We can try to make another one. And basically what I've done here is I've restricted the available name for creation so that if you try to create another one, we say that the name must be the name. This sort of enforces a singleton. But there is no support for hooking into the deletion in the API machinery, so if we do delete, it gets deleted. But the good part is it comes back. And yes, this is a different cluster idea from before. Luckily, we can see that somehow the resource version is being tracked. Because if I do this again, you can see you'll see, okay, it's resource version 6. So there's enough information somewhere to see that it's changed. I'm guessing that's some residual in etcd somewhere, but the ID has changed. You can see that the beginning couple of digits here is different. So far, that's good enough. And the way to get around this is two options: is add a flag to the startup of the controller, which sets this on startup, or set up the API server and the controller in two stages. Set up the API server first, then create this object manually with whatever specific identifier you want, and then start up the controller, which will pick this up. Pick up the one that was created. So this will survive a controller restart. It will survive an API server restart. as long as everything is in etcd and we hook up to the same etcd after a restart, as it is just a standard Kubernetes API. So that's that. Thank you. Bye-bye.